Wow, alright. Episode 9. Over a week late. I'm really sorry about this. I had a lot going on and it took me longer than I thought it would, but it shouldn't happen again. I'm gonna try and get episode 10 out at a normal time, so for CastBox listeners, that'll be in a few days, on Thursday. If you're listening on YouTube, it'll be another week and a few days because of that thing we're doing where we release 1 week later on YouTube than on CastBox, but either way, new episode soon. Let's get into this finale, previously on Greenhouse Tavern.
At the end of the 4 days travel, you come across Oris' city walls. Immediately as you get closer, you hear there's loud music playing, there's cheers. It almost seems like there's a celebration going on. There's a celebration going on. Sora, make that wisdom save.
Okay. 23.
Why is everyone screaming?
23.
As you come across, something just clicks in your brain, and immediately the feeling of sadness and despair hits you. This is the anniversary of the day that you killed your father, the end of his tyrannical rule.
A person who pays everything off on time gives you X amount of money. A person who pays everything off but not on time, they give you X amount of money, they give a little bit of interest. So that's better.
Fuck banks.
Please stop talking about finances.
I am Mr. Krabs. I keep all of my money in my mattress, and then I die.
Yeah, I want to buy this boat. What's your credit score? One of those, and then you just give them cash.
One of those? Back up the truck, boys!
I'm here to buy your house. Well, the very nerve, I'll have you horsewhipped. And he's like, as he's ranting, get off my property now, you little scum. And then he just opens the back of his truck and all like... That's a literal scene in Count of Monte Cristo.
Really?
Yeah, the movie.
Right.
Hey, Carrie, how are you not dead yet?
We're not okay.
Wait,
now
did they do a remake of Count of Monte Cristo?
No, the one that's...
I never read that. I read Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, fun fact,
We're still talking about
If we don't stop talking about finances, I'm going to lose
about
my
finance
mind.
anymore. We're talking about
She just
fantasy,
did
we're talking
she
about
got
gold and jewels, and we're talking about literature.
Okay.
Wuthering Heights, but in semaphore.
For like 5 minutes, which happened to be the 5 minutes directly after my dad first asked me, I confused the Count of Monte Cristo with the Cask of Amontillado.
Oh, God!
So he was like, hey, have you read the Count of Monte Cristo? And I was like, oh, yeah!
We read that
And then
in
so he's like,
English.
cool, let's watch the movie. And I had to pretend for the movie that I'd already read it.
Oh,
Like, after a while, wow, that was a short story for them to make a 2-hour movie out of.
Oh my God. Does anything Cask of Amontillado actually happen in Count of Monte Cristo?
Well, the dude dies in Cask of Amontillado, and there's a couple guys who die in Count of Monte Cristo.
No, then.
They both end in O.
Oh.
Yeah. We read Romeo and Juliet, and then we watched...
They both have to do with jealousy.
Carrie.
We watched the Leonardo DiCaprio remake of Romeo and Juliet, and that entire movie was a fucking fire hazard, I swear to God.
I hated
Well,
that
yeah, and
so much.
Didn't the Romeo guy look like Zac frickin' Efron?
No,
I remember.
no, that was literally Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, it was... I remember he
I
looked like
said the
By my
Romeo
heel.
and Juliet movie.
I care not.
Oof.
Okay, Mercutio was amazing though, and that
How
was
do you
the
guys
only
hate
thing
that? That's like the greatest movie of all time.
Mercutio was the
Not.
only redeemable feature of that movie.
The only reason my class watched it is because it was full of girls that liked Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the only reason we
They
watched that
played-
version.
How can you watch, like, people in, like, 15 different colors in the goddamn 90s talking like they're from the Shakespearean time period,
It's
literally
just so
referring to their
bad.
guns as swords,
It's
and not
so
go, this is the
bad.
greatest movie of all time.
It was pretty good,
So
but the
bad.
Leonardo DiCaprio
Welcome to Greenhouse Tavern Movie Reviews.
God damn it.
I
Okay.
want to die.
Today we're
say
reviewing
that-
Carrie by Stephen
I repeat my previous statement.
You're fucking up the entire audio by doing that.
Oh, well.
I don't get that reference either, by the way.
We're deleting like that entire section, right?
Where instead of dying,
I'm just saying,
she
one more
kills
thing
everybody else.
about the Romeo and Juliet movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. They should have done more world building and not worried about the Romeo and Juliet storyline at all, because Mercutio was way more interesting, and we all know it. Also, the last scene with all the candles where they both die is a fucking fire hazard, and I want to know who okayed that.
That was me imitating the enormous breath that Adessa took silently after that.
I'm good at taking quiet breaths.
Alright, are we ready to do this? Guys, are we ready?
Carrie's been ready, but now she's dead.
Carrie failed all of her
man.
saving throws.
We
and now
waited
she's
too
bored.
long. We went too long without feeding Carrie.
Carrie,
Wait,
on my way!
I gave you a pocky.
Don't you fuck me off.
What do you
We
mean,
both
Carrie?
like Supernatural. It's okay. Down, foul creature.
Guys,
Okay.
You can't
now,
flip me off. I gave
that-
her pocky.
Supernatural is illegal.
excuse me?
Supernatural should be way more gay than it is.
I said
I agree
Supernatural is
with
illegal. We're in my room.
There needs to be more lesbians. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, but like,
Miss Charlie.
unironically, the rule of I control what gets allowed in my room is actually a really good rule, especially for younger siblings. And y'all shouldn't say it if you haven't. He's just like comes in playing XXX and Tassia, and I'm like, out.
I tried that with her. She don't listen. If I did
That's
that,
true.
I
don't
would
listen
get
to him.
threatened by my little brother that has anger issues, and then yelled at by my mom. So
The talking Luigi Toad. We'll hand it to
That
you.
is
Oh
my
my
monster.
god, that
My
someone
monster.
put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
I have a
So-
sword in my room. If my brother won't get out, I have a sword that I can hit him with. So
I want a sword that I can hit people with.
That's
If
a
you-
very nice
Awesome.
sword.
That's called assault,
That's-
and it's how you kill people.
It's
Gives
a
brain
foam
injury.
sword.
It's
That's
a
like the
foam
only thing
sword,
you
calm
missed
down.
at Cameron's party was just us playing with the
So-
foam sword.
yeah.
And that 5-minute dungeon game, which was really intense.
For no
Us
reason.
playing super fast.
It was intense.
Hey,
You guys kept on going fast. I
We're
couldn't
going too
reset the
fast.
timer.
We might as well use the timer. Sets timer. No!
I couldn't reset the timer because they kept on going too fast.
We misunderstood the rules.
They did.
We did.
We had a fun time though.
Previously on Greenhouse Tavern, somebody stuck Toad's head onto like a pole, and that
That
was
was-
a thing.
That was me. That was me.
Now,
No, it was me.
now they've stuck Toad's head
Onto Luigi's
They
head.
like
That was
stuck
me.
Luigi's head into Toad's head, so now they're like it's a two-headed being. All it is heads. There's just two heads.
They just
It
keep
is-
Hey,
rolling.
hey,
Guys,
heads
like
or
a
tails.
cat
It's
dog,
like
but
yeah, I was
without
gonna
the
say
body.
it's like a horrifically eldritch like please kill me version of Cat Dog.
It is my monster. Appreciate it. It is
No.
my
I mean,
monster.
This is something you would
Please
see
tell
on
me we
Monster
don't have to
Factory.
fight that thing.
Oh my god! Start writing down stats right now.
You see
I
a
can't.
strange Italian man with an enormous nose. As you draw closer, you realize it is only his face. Only his head, wearing a small green cap with an L, is attached to the bottom of a quite large mushroom, which, oh my god, also has a face.
I pick it up and punch it.
Out of the corner of
They
your
have-
eye, you
they
saw
have
it.
that
Screams
Roll
and
punching.
The heads have their own health.
It screams in horrific volumes and bears shining white spiky teeth out.
Don't do that. Roll punching.
18.
Can I
you-
roll a saving throw for my vocal cords?
No.
Can I roll
You
to
hit it
die?
directly out, and you're like, I wonder what that was doing in the Mystigan Kingdom. All right, everybody, I've now segued that into the game, which we're playing now.
Alright,
Yay!
cool. Alright.
We're playing a game.
5 minutes of silence? Or...
Do you want to play a game? No,
No.
we're not doing
We're
that.
not doing minutes of seconds of silence?
I know, I was talking about we're not doing
5
songs.
seconds of silence or 5 seconds of summer?
No, the first one, and definitely not the second one. Character introductions,
Alright.
Thain.
I haven't even started the actual introduction.
I already
Kill
did.
me, please.
I was actually kind of intending, when I said welcome to Greenhouse Tavern movie reviews, I was kind of intending that to be the way that we segued into character introductions.
Really?
Because, you know, that just sort of, that way instead of having to do like a weird cut, then it connects to the rest of the podcast. Anyway,
Would you
Thain.
like to
Alright,
color
cool.
coordinate your stuff? Coordinate your stuff?
I
have
wanna
jealous.
punch.
Silent.
What? Why do you guys have such a problem with this?
It's me.
Just
Wait.
silent.
Like,
Adessa, look at Jeff while he's introducing his character, and put your hands on your knees. And keep them there.
oh yeah, that's another thing. You guys like really quietly do a whole bunch of stuff, and they're like, oh well, I'm doing this real quiet. It's not going to pick up on the microphone. It does. Like editing.
The latest episode, you and Matea's little side conversation, I heard that in perfect volume.
Like the editing here is all of that stuff when you're holding two pieces of paper and all you're doing is. It's all we.
Welcome to ASMR with Greenhouse Tavern.
Hey guys, welcome to the Greenhouse Tavern ASMR.
You're doing it wrong.
I don't use paper.
And me. Can we please fucking
We're
record?
doing jokes now.
Alright.
Jokes are okay. Thain.
Jeff.
Hello, my name is Jeff. I'm going to be playing Thain, the Mountain Dwarf Monk Barbarian.
Hi, my name is Cameron. I'm going to be playing as Karma, the Tabaxi Paladin.
Hi, I'm your sweet babyest brother, Griffin McElroy.
Now,
And they
Adessa.
just threw the toad amiibo at me, so...
Amiibo?
I don't know what it is!
It's made of Legos.
Adessa. Hands on your knees. Keep them there.
Which ones?
My hands wherever.
Keep your hands on your knees.
These are technically my arm knees.
No, they're
so-
not. That's not
Keep
what
them
technically
to
they are at all.
yourselves.
Elbows are arm knees.
Introduce your
Character
character.
introduction.
Okay,
to
hi.
Introduce your fucking character.
Hi, my name is Adessa, and I'm gonna be playing Aife. Expect pretty much this the entire time.
Don't, because she's not going to keep doing it.
Hi,
No
I'm
bars can
Carrie.
hold me.
Shut the fuck up!
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Carrie. I want to die. I'm playing Sora Mystigan, a level 11 fighter, full hero.
Alright, we're good. Alright, I am Aldrion, the DM, and we're gonna finally get this thing on
I
the
thought you
road.
were gonna start saying, and I'm everybody else.
You're not.
Oh.
You said that a whole bunch of times and nobody else agreed to it. And I'm Ace, the tech, and today I'm playing the character that I've been playing for 6 episodes. His name is Invisible Man Jones, and he's been there. He's been there. He's been there.
I want to try
He's
to
been there, and he's done that.
Alright, hold on. Before we get this started.
Cruella could have seen you because she always has invisibility.
Ooh. Well, then she's in on it. She must have been in on it. Otherwise, she obviously.
She can. She is now in it.
Obviously, would have told the party.
Oh no, she's in on it.
Alright,
She's definitely in on it.
before we
That
get this
shady
started,
shit.
I have something to do / say.
Oh,
call
guys,
it?
guys!
No, I
announcement
don't.
time!
Announcement.
Announcement time!
It's announced. Guys,
Oh my god!
You guys are
Dessa,
really bad at
Dessa,
this.
I'm gonna have to tape your hands to your
Do you
knees.
remember when I literally just said all of the things that you try to do really quietly and act like it doesn't pick up on the mic? It does pick up on the mic. That includes all the things that you were just doing with your backpack and those pens.
All right, we ready?
He's trying to color coordinate my stuff,
You can
guys.
do that later.
No.
All right.
Late tour.
Okay.
Lator is my
Right.
favorite Voltron character.
Oh my god!
End me.
It's fine to.
I
joke.
love how you yell at us for joking and then you just tell us.
As long as the jokes aren't just randomly. And that's what the thing said in the thing. Then it's fine.
Are Monty Python references allowed?
maybe.
Monty Python reference.
As long as they're not super random interrupting in the middle of everybody and they take everybody off topic.
Okay.
We're
Alright.
done discussing this now because
Alright.
discussing this is also taking this off topic.
All right.
Announcement time.
All right. So recently, it was someone's birthday, and being a horrible friend, I did not have any money to get him anything. So here you go.
Oh shit!
Cameron.
I got you Paladin dice.
Oh!
My
You set a
goodness, that's
dice
so
for
cool.
Cameron.
Yes.
Thank you. Set a dice
You're
for
welcome.
Cameron.
They are blue and gold, like swirly dice, and they're what I assume a paladin kind of colors. I got them. I got them at Clark's Dig Gameplay. # not sponsored.
Hashtag
But
you
hit
should
us up.
sponsor.
Yeah, I'm a bad friend because not only did I not go to Cameron's birthday party, I actually went in the other direction and I went to a completely different state and I was there the whole time. That's,
It's okay.
I
That's
would-
okay. Thanks
trust me,
for
I would have been there had I been there.
Yeah.
Also, I want you to know how good of a friend I am. I used my other friend's money that he got from selling his games to buy you.
Oh my
So
god.
technically, I did not buy you.
Well, I think I win worst friend award here because I was in the state
You
and
were.
was very near to your house and still
Well, you
did
were
not
sick,
go.
right?
You were sick.
No, I was swamped with homework.
Well, that's fair.
That basically counts as sick.
I mean, yeah, basically.
Alright,
It's
so
getting warm in here already.
one announcement, the single announcement is done and over with. This is not Cameron's birthday.
Second announcement is our spin-off podcast, The Adventure Zone, The Adventures of Bugbear.
What?
That was the thing that I talked about in the special episode.
Oh my god.
And me.
Oh my god, if we ever actually do that, we need to combine Adventures of Bugbear with Adventures of Carrick and the Dragon.
Oh my god, these are like Ravenclaw colors. That's so cute. Ah!
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I heard
Shut
that
up!
too.
Shut up! That didn't happen.
Ravenclaw.
Alright, guys.
Alright, we're gonna get this started.
Hey hang on.
Okay, guys.
I need to curse them because
Guys,
you're being.
No, you don't.
Give me the new D20.
Adessa.
Give them back.
Adessa.
Okay.
Give them back.
Adessa.
Okay.
And technically, your second dice are always cursed, no matter what.
Yeah.
Adessa,
second dice you
you're
ever
now
get are
deliberately doing the things that you're not supposed to be doing. Okay,
Alright.
do your thing. What happened? I've developed sudden amnesia. David, what has happened last episode?
Last episode, you guys went on a 4-day travel from wrong parts of my notes.
Yeah, that was I was
Are
gonna
we
say that was
gridlocked?
that was more than one episode
From
ago.
Gridlock to Oris.
Yes, that was a
Oh,
4 days
never mind.
travel. That was a
I'm
4 days
just
travel.
stupid.
Where nothing really eventful happened because I wanted to speed along this plot.
It was a travel montage.
It was a travel montage.
And then we
Sora, you
got-
need to do more with travel montages than just driving. Okay, those are.
I
second
gave
place.
her weapon,
Yes, which was amazing. And I feel really bad that I interrupted you.
and I also
Everybody
made.
yelled at me.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I also made Thain talk in a roleplay moment, which is a first for this podcast.
Yeah, the
'cause
first,
Jeff never
the first
fucking
time
talks.
Jeff speaks.
My temple.
Alright,
My-
and then after they got to Oris, they realized that they were not really intruding, almost participating in a festival that the rest of the party had no idea what it was, but to Sora's knowledge, and then everybody else in the kingdom, it was a celebration of the ending of George Everwood's tyrannical reign, which is the previous king of...
Who I killed.
Yes.
1 year earlier.
Not
No,
one
it,
year.
it was 3 years
Oh,
earlier.
Seven.
Hold on. 3 years earlier.
Okay, so you want the papers to hold up if we're out of order, or like?
Sure.
I'm not grabbing him.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. It's time for me. It's time for me to do my patented Foley's. This is that was the harp sound effect that signals the flashback.
Oh, you got the Doctor Who theme on the back of this.
Yes, that's because I took it from your house where you only had one piece of paper that was it was just blank.
So, after they went back got to Oris, and then traveled through, as they were traveling through the town, people were just kind of celebrating their arrival.
I'm sorry, what was the name of this country before it was called Oris? Was it the Everwood?
What was it? Was
I
it?
don't remember.
I didn't write this one down. I'm gonna have to.
It
dig-
wasn't.
Neither do I, because I'm technically from here, and so I should know, but I left that up to Carrie.
I'm gonna have to dig through my notes.
You have all your notes right there. Can you,
Find
like,
it.
not...
I haven't written it down on her backstory because I didn't think it was relevant. Hold on. I can make something up here.
It
No,
could just
don't
have been
make
the
something
Everwood.
up because you already have one in continuity.
Do we?
You already have a name. Yeah, she sent it over the group chat.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, if she didn't say it in the podcast.
if she didn't say it in the podcast, it's not canon. Also, I was intending that to be like the way that we segue into the fact that we're now flashback to.
Hold on. I have...
Okay.
Give me this.
Give book.
Do you want the random table or something?
No, I'll just look through, like, Elvish names or something.
Let's see if anybody's tweeted about our show.
Okay.
Let's see if anybody's tweeted about our show on the hashtag
Yeah, I did
Greenhouse.
ask you, like, you just created that name on the spot, didn't you?
Okay, I'm gonna need to make a third sheet that's just the phrase "Don't interrupt" written very, very bigly.
It's just taped to Adessa's face.
That's rude.
Well, if it's taped to my face, then I won't be able to see it.
You know what?
Taped in reverse to S's face.
Well, then it'll be too close.
It'll be untaped, I guess, is the thing that I just said. What was I saying?
The Greenhouse Tavern podcast.
Oh yeah. Let's see if anybody tweeted about us at our hashtag GreenhouseCast hashtag, because that way, if we do that, then definitely a very original concept that nobody else has ever done. We will try to put your name into the podcast somehow, be it a name, be it the name of a character, the name of a place, the name of a larger place.
Ah, yes, Georgeson Town.
Like,
I mean, that's kind of how Georgia got started.
like that's a thing. Like the dude who came to America was named Amerigo. That's,
Yeah.
No.
That's why it was named that. It was named after Amerigo Vespucci. I'm not
Just
joking.
the guy who came. Yeah. Why do you think it's never been called Christopher Columbus? Because he never went to America.
Yeah, he never went
Also,
there.
because he's a kind of a dick, so
he's
there's
the
that
biggest
too.
dick.
Christopher Columbus was like a huge dick, and so
China?
was Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
Fun fact: China was actually named after Jason Chinum.
So if your name is Jason Chinum or Georgeson, you already have a spot on the podcast, my friend.
Yeah, don't even bother tweeting to your 500,000 followers. Oh no, we messed up. We could have gotten famous.
No,
anyway,
please.
welcome to Greenhouse Tavern.
Hi.
Yes, welcome to Greenhouse Tavern, where we're just shit people.
No, we're not.
We've been recording for 23 minutes.
Die!
We don't have a time limit anymore.
Technically, probably minus 15 of all the
definitely
gibberish. Or like 50. I'm gonna say minus 15 because of all the gibberish. that
I'm
we heard.
legitimately thinking it's more like a -7. We've got about.
No, because I remember I looked at and it was 10, and we were like just talking about random stuff. So I'm guessing somewhere.
Well, some of that was funny, and I want to keep it in.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. All right.
Anyway,
All right. So.
You know the DMG just has a random table you could.
Okay,
Roll
well,
on.
I don't care. Okay, double
seriously
lock.
though,
That's
do
what it used to
tweet
be
at
called.
us. We will love you.
Please.
What was the name of the town?
Double lock.
Double
We
Lock?
also have a
Kingdom.
Tumblr, but since that might no longer be in
Double
effect.
Lock.
What?
Welcome to Gridlock. The sequel town is called
Yeah, because
Double
Tumblr's
Lock.
new policy.
No, because like the big
Double Lock,
kingdom.
Grid's Revenge.
You want me to come up with something different? I can
Please.
find something. Okay, give me the DMG.
There's
So
the
I
DMG. All
It's
right.
gotta think of
I can name it after the first person to listen to our podcast and fangirl about it, which happened on Discord. Should I do that?
Who was
Wait,
it?
someone fangirled about us?
Yeah,
on
somebody
Discord?
fan.
Oh my gosh, we have a fangirl!
What?
Somebody was like when I shared the first episode when we put it up in a Discord, there was like somebody listened to it and was just absolutely.
Please
loved
tell me
it.
who this
Oops.
name was. Who? I need to appreciate
Fine.
you so much.
We need to put this person in the podcast right now.
You are so appreciated,
Our
whoever
first
you
fan,
All right.
our Carrie Peach. Cut that part out.
are. No, we must
Our Carrie.
We must
Peach?
praise
Carrie,
you.
Carrie Peach was an artist
I
who
remember
started
they
very early
misspelled
on as
Carrie.
being an artist
Oh, they did.
for,
You're trying to give me history when I'm not.
The Adventure Zone.
What?
Well, it was for the phrase "Carrie, stop interrupting,"
Oh my god.
which was the thing that happened.
We're finding.
It's wild how Adessa said "Carrie, stop interrupting" in the first episode.
Irony.
Was that it? Did you find it?
I haven't found it yet.
Damn it.
Hold on.
We need to
Here it is.
praise.
Here it is.
Stop.
They changed their Discord username to Galak, like the dude from Hive Swap Friendson.
Oh my gosh.
So hold on.
Where is
926. They actually changed their full Discord name to that.
Oh.
Not
Why don't you get in contact with them
They
and
might be
we'll see for
offline.
the next
Hold
episode.
Up, hold up. I'm gonna try and live contact them right now.
No, what?
Yes!
What?
Can we get a chat going?
Oh my god! Yes.
Oh my god, can we get a chat going?
I want to die.
Why
Can we just play something?
We have
We have a fan, you guys!
We must praise
that
this
is,
person.
they're still, wait. Yeah, they're still named Galak on the other Discord. Him.
Alright, let's just play while we wait for this guy to respond.
Just PM him and say, hey man,
Well, okay, well, this is,
We're appreciating you on the podcast.
we're pretty much,
Discord
Where's
user
the
Gallic
name
Friendson.
table on here?
Yes, they're in the back.
I looked through.
whoa,
It was in the thing.
Hey.
I think you're thinking of Xanthar's.
Xanthars, sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
Xanthar's has all the random tables.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Find a generator on the internet.
Hey guys,
FantasyNameGenerators.com.
what's the difference, what's the difference between Sora's player with Wicker and King Raltoid? One of them is Carrie and a basket, the other one was buried in a casket.
Ah!
Hey!
Oh my
I
God.
want to die.
Alright.
No, you don't get to. We
Alright,
have to
well-
have you on a podcast. You're the lovable asshole.
Hold up. I'm gonna see if there's anybody else that listened and talked about it.
Yeah, let's get all these Discord people. We should start a Discord. Do we have a Discord?
Some, what,
Obviously.
No, I mean, do we have...
Pawtimer Deku, friend of,
Hey.
Tumblr user Hal Turing Tested, said, that's freaking lit.
Yeah! Woo!
Wait, that
We
might-
reached a
wait,
new high on the internet.
might be-
Two people!
Hold on.
Someone
Might be-
called us lit.
Might be a different Deku. Hold on. They
Deku.
left this chat. Wait.
Don't
Deku!
call him Deku, that's not nice.
Nani?
But Deku's
I
actually
hate
using
that.
that name for
I
his
hate
superhero
that.
I
name.
know, but it's only because Uraraka said so. Where? Fucking
What
hell.
did you just say?
Only because what? Gravity Girl. Gravity Girl.
Uraraka!
Uraraka liked the name Deku, which is bullshit. And you should never do things for someone you
But
have a
Deku
crush
said he
on
wanted
because
to
you will
change the name to
end
make
up
it sound
in
like.
sadness.
Deku also said gay rights.
Woo!
Heck yeah!
All Might would pump. Let me start that sentence over. All Might would punch Trump in the face without giving it a second thought.
I would too.
Wall-Mite!
No! No!
Hold on. I have...
All Might would punch the person who made that meme.
This is going very successful.
Alright. Can we
We're
go?
on such
Are
a
you still
fucking
looking for them?
tangent.
I love how we're just relating.
Update,
to
it was a different Deku. I'm sorry. We were not complimented by friend of how Turing tested.
Damn.
It's okay.
Oh well.
Do we have a Greenhouse Discord? Greenhouse Tavern Discord?
We don't.
Not yet.
Well.
Live, okay, he's not online.
Alright,
Well, we can send a PM on the Discords and say, hey, we really appreciate you. Yeah.
That's not as good as naming an entire land after them.
well, we will.
Well, we will.
You
Gallic is also is
that his name?
with a specific
pencil.
tag called Gallic and also Bakugo. So I'm assuming they're Kinney tags. So
Oh, God.
let's fuse Gallic and Bakugo and make it the name of a land.
I need a pencil. Give me a pencil and I will.
Bakugan. No.
I forgot that existed, and you saying that word out loud just
You
threw
guys-
me 5 years into the
Okay.
past.
You guys aren't allowed to open that closet because it's full of mess stuff that I haven't actually cleaned out of it, so it's actually really a terrible place. But also inside of it is like an enormous Bakugan collection because I
Where's his name?
unironically
What's
love
his
it.
name?
Gallic and Bakugo.
Bakugo.
Yeah.
Put it like in this area.
Bakugo is an asshole and a bastard.
I love him.
Alright.
He is not to be trusted.
I didn't say he was to be trusted. I said
He
I
is
love him.
not a good person.
I'm not a good person.
I would argue that you are a good person.
Well, you're like the only
Guys.
person, so.
Ah! Alright, we're gonna get this started, alright?
Kind of Bakugao.
Bakugo.
Alright. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna get this started now. Alright?
We're actually gonna get started.
Yeah, finally.
So, as like 10 minutes ago, I did a noise to flash us back to Carrie's 3 years ago ins. I was going to say adolescence, but I didn't realize if that was going to be canon.
How old are you?
Sora is, let's see, she is 23 at the moment.
Oh, wow, you're very old.
For a dragon.
Well, hang on, I'm just thinking.
Player's handbook. You mean
Jeff!
Hang on.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 20 also. Not 22.
What are you
because
doing,
I'm-
Jeff? You're not
80
a...
years. 80 years. So about the lifespan of a human.
Yeah. I know. I've looked this stuff up for my character. That's why
I'm
I
gonna
aged
outlive
her
all of
like
you.
I did Koella.
I live 500 years.
700.
Koella doesn't count as one of us because she's not anymore. We made that explicitly clear in episode 5.
She's a dragon.
We're now on episode... Oh yeah, we're on episode 9.
Oh, we are?
This is what happens when you don't allow me to do the intro. You don't say the
Can I
episode.
Can I see your...
Okay, I guess
I see
we're
your
being
calculator.
rude now. Okay,
Alright, we can
we're not even... Well, this part is all getting cut out until we come up with a name.
Alright, can we please get this started?
Yeah, let's get this party started.
Alright. So you guys, we left off. You entering the castle walls.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago. Am I supposed to narrate this?
I guess. I don't know what to do.
Okay. So I'm basically DMing this episode. Cool.
Hold on.
Nanny?
The thing that
Stop.
I thought was like... Maybe like as... Because we're moving through the kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as the party moves through the kingdom, that also triggers different... Like that's flat. That flashes us back to different parts of your
So,
life.
like, I passed
that
by the
occurred.
orphanage that I grew up in.
Yeah,
Stuff
that
like
occurred
that,
during
yes.
those things. So like...
Well, right now you are like entering the actual castle.
Yeah, we already passed that orphanage. We that great time of story was missed.
Yes, but I am gonna go visit my mom. So I can pass by it then.
Does your mom live in the orphanage?
No, she lives past it. She lives on, like, the outskirts of town.
I was gonna
She
say that's
doesn't
a
like
really
people.
long time to be in an orphanage.
Alright,
Oof.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Not for you.
I was okaying that you could say words.
As the DM, I can say all of the words.
I am the owner of this room. and I
Even
can
pneumono
draw-
ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
I can say pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Isn't that black lung disease?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
cool.
also caniosis, by the way.
Okay.
Trolls don't have sisters.
We are very successful.
Carrie! Carrie,
Yes.
was there a revolution leading up to the death of your father, or was it just... So it's just she dropped in and stabbed him?
Kind of, yeah.
Alright.
What if, okay, here's the thing. What if she turned into a snake beforehand and everybody knew the evil king loves snakes, so he picked it up and then you morphed into yourself and said, "Well, it's me instead."
I am not Loki.
Last time I remembered, I don't think Sora was 8 when that happened.
This is a sad backstory, actually. It was a very emotional and tearful thing, and yeah. The fourth bird died. I was referencing a famous Mabim Bam bit where in a live show a girl had 7 parrots.
I love that one.
Alright, cool.
So, as you're kind of coming up to the castle, your eyes meet it, and then immediately the image flashes into, like, you can tell it's those 3 years later when you were just walking up to the castle.
Earlier,
the time of day. What?
You said later.
Later? Or earlier?
3 years in the future.
3 years earlier is
3
when I
years-
killed my dad.
The image flashes. The image flashes to 3 years earlier, and the sun almost seems to turn itself to where to fit that memory.
Mm-hmm.
You hear like the distant bird call, but when you look, there's nothing there because it's in your memory. And when you turn back to look at the castle, it's just back to present time.
Oh my goodness.
Are you good? Is it too loud for you too?
No, the noise is not what would be bothering me right now.
You're lucky. Do you want to hold Alte?
Does she kind of hate me from that one time I kicked her?
No, not really. I mean, she just kind of exists. It's almost like kind of weird. She doesn't really have like a whole lot of like free will.
That's...
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, she's a construct. She's not really like a thing. I guess.
Alright, okay.
The pressure.
She's a
Give me the dog.
Just wear it like a scarf.
Do you summon Alte?
Yeah, I'm gonna snap Alte directly on her shoulders. And I say, the pressure should keep you calm. She's kind of like my,
Security blanket?
yeah, I would say so. Like, sometimes weighted clothing or weighted blankets help me calm down when I'm in a stressful situation, and Alte is basically a portable version of that. So, you can keep her as long as you need to.
Oh, that'd be an interesting training regimen.
I'm not doing the whole weights around your legs anime thing, okay?
I wanna be Goku, leave me alone!
Alright, so,
Wait, can I do an extension of this? What could that change? Removing one tiny Alte? Alte hits the ground.
Oh, okay.
Okay, continue.
Alright, so, Alte just kind of droops over your shoulders in a weird small scarf thingy.
Like, you know when people are going to pools and they put the towel around their necks? That, but with a dog.
Kind of like pet her head a little bit, scratch her behind the
Alte
ear.
licks your hand. Those are her kisses, it's fine. And I just kind of walk ahead a little bit.
I don't deal with animals much.
That's your loss, not mine.
That's true. I'm very busy, though. If I had a dog, I wouldn't take care of it. That's why I don't have a dog.
So as you get up to, like, the actual castle door, it is, like, just wide open already. Before you get up there. Like, no one has opened the door or anything. It's just already open.
Can I do a little bit of injecting some more life into this world that we're sort of just kind of, and then this happens, and maybe this happens.
Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot of, like, pictures painted here, David.
I'm going to say that the castle is actually double walled. There is
no war in Ba Sing Se.
There is an incredible, at the center of the city, there is this enormous hexagonal structure.
Hexagonal?
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
This enormous hexagonal structure with this great portcullis in it. It's really intimidating and such. And inside of this is it's almost like a miniature town of its own. It's basically the equivalent of the gated neighborhood in modern
There is no war in
existence.
Ba Sing Se!
Okay, you're gonna stop doing that.
Okay.
And in there is like a lot of the places where people who work in the castle who don't live in the castle do live. That's where they live. Inside it, this is what we're passing through as we see the incredibly tall square castle shape form. And this square castle shape is itself 4 more walls intended for even more powerful protection that forms a square at the center of this hexagon, and inside of that is the castle. That adds up to exactly 10 spires.
Okay. So is there a gate at the actual wall?
I feel like
There's a portcullis, so
there's
yes,
not-
there's a gate.
if there's not a gate, then how do they get in and out?
They use very strategic catapults.
No, like
They
there's
just
two
have-
wall doorways, but is there a gate in between them, or is it just
They
always
use
open?
catapults to yeet people over the fence.
They just have hired a sorcerer to
Yeah.
just cast dimension door, and then
I
just
said
go
there was a portcullis at the 6 wall thing. That wouldn't really work very well. I'm gonna say it's like instead like 2 enormous, probably
Is that wall rose or?
probably dwarven crafted. Okay, you guys are gonna shush. Like probably dwarven crafted doors that are just sort of always open. They can close in the event of invasion, but they're not because people can come in and
Speak
out.
friend and enter.
No.
Alright.
Stop.
Alright.
Okay, sorry.
And then inside of there,
Sorry.
the walls that lead into the actual castle, those have a portcullis.
Alright, so I don't know what a portcullis is.
It's
so.
the gate thing for a castle.
The lattice droppy down gate thingy.
That's what that's called.
Oh.
Anyway,
It's
keep
like
going.
a garage door.
It's what
The spiky garage door of death.
Alright, so as you get through the giant, massive hexagonal walls,
Hexamagonal.
Hexagonal.
We already went through those. Okay, the party has already proceeded through these walls, and that is when Carrie got the glimpse of the.
yes, yeah.
Dear God, we're running behind schedule, even with no time limit.
And
And we do have a time limit, by the way. It's an hour and a half.
And as the portcullis to the actual castle is down,
Okay.
is down, and you see
The enemy's gate is down.
Adessa.
Sorry.
people walking in and out. Some trails, just some kind of dotting out. Just regular commoners too are mixed.
To allow entry, a portcullis would have to be up.
I'm so confused.
They're the gates to castles, and they raise up.
Oh, those ones. I was thinking drawbridge. Someone explain drawbridge to me.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, this is the.
It goes like this.
If we're comparing this podcast to the Adventure Zone as we always are, this is the part in Moonlighting where Griffin confuses a portcullis with an aperture.
Okay. The fact that I thought it was a drawbridge was the main thing that it was confusing.
I don't think there's even a moat.
Okay.
It's in
That
the city.
I know. That's why
There
it was
isn't
confusing
emote, but there
me.
is some emotion, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's get back to that.
That's what was confusing me. Okay, the fact that I
Oh,
thought
God.
it was a.
The fact that
drawbridge.
Adessa said that makes me like twitch at the anticipation of making a Carly Rae Jepsen reference.
Alright.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so
She said,
the
she's saying "Call me maybe."
Oh,
Anyway, let's get podcast. Sorry.
So the portcullis is up. There are people walking in and out of the doorway, the massive doorway to the castle. Commoners too. As you just kind of park or whatever, you get out.
Yeah, let me just park this gigantic cart I have. No big deal.
It's not that big.
Parallel
you,
park.
you have your own spot reserved for the princess.
I do now.
Let me park these oxen.
They're
Oh, sorry, I
horses.
forgot to lock the door. You click a button and they open their mouths and go.
Alright, so you kind of put it out of the way of everything, I guess.
Okay.
And get out and you go into the castle.
Okay.
Everything is like extremely nicely decorated, even though this is just like a hallway to reach everything else. It's just everything is nicely decorated. There are commoners like farmers, butchers, blacksmiths, all those people surrounding, and then there are also some noblemen. A few of them are kind of in their own groups, but there are a few noblemen like talking with the commoners as well, like diplomatic people. But a lot of them are just clumped together in one space.
This is a nicely decorated hallway.
It is.
Okay,
It's
Adessa,
like a really big hole.
the fact that you were planning on interrupting the DM just to say this is a nicely decorated hallway really, really illustrates my don't interrupt people rule. You could have just waited for him to be done and then said that.
I was waiting, but I'm not good at picking up on people when people are done with their sentences, so.
When they're let out of jail. Okay.
Hey.
Alright.
I'm sorry I'm doing this. This is my fault.
Alright.
No, it's on me.
Okay. I'm gonna look at like a specific painting that was there 3 years ago when I did the whole killing my dad thing, and then
Alright.
do the sound effect.
I was can I
Are you
just,
gonna add that in
should I
post?
are you just gonna say like I look at a painting, or do you want one of us to describe this painting? This
Look,
little one?
yeah, you should probably describe that.
Okay,
What is
wait, hang on. Can
painting
I
up?
leave and go get myself some angry water so I'm
You
not interrupting?
you can do that, and I know exactly what the painting is of.
Oh, what is
So
Oh no!
here's the thing.
There's so much stuff in the way.
This painting is, it looks like it was painted in the style of a stained glass window, almost. But it's not. There's very many shards of specific color, and what it forms is the shape of, as the things, I'm sorry, I need to figure out how I'm trying to describe this. In this style of art, the things which are meant to be the center of focus for the painting, the shards of color get smaller so as to allow for more detail, whereas the things which are not the center focus of the painting are more general. There's two main focuses of this painting. One is an incredibly detailed mountain top, and in the distance from this mountaintop are many more, as if to form a ridge of mountains, which get progressively less and less in focus to show their distance from the camera, quote-unquote camera. And the secondary focus of this is what is just taken off from this mountain is a very enormous, what looks almost, but definitely is not, looks almost like a black dragon, which is, it's much more black and purple, and some pieces of it, in a very strange artistic choice, some parts of it also are defined very generally. But it's a black and purple dragon, wings outstretched in midair, having just taken off from this mountaintop where it was currently perched, and it is now flying across the sky. This dragon painting is specifically a painting which was there 3 years earlier when Sora fought her king.
Okay.
I know what you're connecting it to. I'm just trying to figure out how it's supposed to trigger something for her.
Because it was there.
Yeah.
It was a thing that she specifically remembered because something happened where something big happened and she saw a painting at the same time as it happened or something.
Alright.
So while I was on my way rushing into the castle to kill the king, I had to stop and catch my breath, and the painting was right there.
Yes. Alright.
Okay. Sora sprints into the castle in an intense, mysteriously intense rage, and she's been running non-stop from a far off distance, and she stops to catch her breath and looks up and sees this enormous painting. It's a real big painting. It's a canonically real big painting, and
Can we get a definition of real big in this case?
I'd say it's probably
Mural.
sort of in between the size of a mural that would fill up a whole wall and just a normal sized painting that you would just hang on a wall. It's real big. It's enough that it's the main focus of the wall, but it's not the only thing on the wall.
Okay, so
This is a very tall. It's a very tall.
Give me dimensions.
It's a very tall hallway, so I'd say probably it starts out at about 3 feet off the ground and is about 10 feet tall total. So it goes to about 13 feet. This enormous painting.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
And it's landscape oriented, like the shape of a piece of paper in real human life.
Okay. So I stop and catch my breath, and I'm there for at least a while, a minute or two. And I'm just focusing on this painting. Thank you.
We're back to the present day.
Oh God, why did I come back?
I think you know the answer to that. I put my hand on her back, right underneath where Alte is, and I say, where do you want to go?
I don't know anymore.
We can leave if you want. We can do whatever you needed to do here.
I need to go talk to Oris.
Okay. Would you like us to come with you, or is this a you thing?
I don't know.
Well, you're taking Karma. Karma,
Yes,
can you go with Sora to make sure she finishes the business she's set out to do here?
of course.
Thain and I are going to check out the festival.
You two be safe.
Yeah.
Okay, you too.
Please don't die. That'd be bad.
No promises.
Hey, don't run away.
I'll make sure Thain doesn't die.
I'm not worried about
I can't say
Thain
anything about
dying.
Well, that was out of nowhere and also kind of mean.
And don't worry, I'll make sure she doesn't run.
You better.
Well, I'm saying I'm not worried about him dying because he's really freaking tough.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe that he will die. Is what you? Is
Thane
what
is
is
actually
the
a
meaning,
vampire.
but
Dwarven toughness.
You definitely just said you don't care if Thane dies.
But that wasn't my intention.
No, it's okay. It was a good line, and we should keep it without the commentary.
Absolutely.
Alright, okay. So are you gonna be, are you actively looking for Oris?
Yeah,
Alright, so roll investigation.
I was not prepared. Oh,
Can I have a high five for that amazing line? That was the weakest high five ever.
Well,
Cameron, can you give me a better high five?
Yeah, let me take off my ring.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Uh,
That's a good high five.
Do, do, do. I'm sorry. Okay. Stats, where are they? Over 20.
Over 20.
That's all you need.
Okay, so as you're looking around, you catch the royal garbs. Is that what it's called? Like royal wear or whatever. Like really fancy, big, flashy stuff.
The king's cloak.
Yeah, the king's cloak or whatever. And as you see him like turn to you,
Okay, so, like, I crack open the door, like, an inch or so, just enough so that I can see what's happening. And I see the king, who I've seen before, and he's arguing with a woman that I'm guessing is the queen. She's dressed very elegantly in red, and they're just arguing about something, and I can't really hear it very well because it's a really frickin' long hallway.
And also, this is a memory.
Also, this is a memory, that too. So I'm just kind of hearing, like, what sounds like voices, but I can't decipher what they are. And there's just this little girl with really long brown hair just cowering in the corner.
that's your cues for the sound of it.
Jazz
And I'll do this!
Well, when you make that sound, that's what I picture. Is just this.
Yes, but I was
that's
doing the Jack...
That's what the person's doing on the harp.
I was doing the Jack Sparrow thing, and I can do this.
All right.
You defeated the king with a jar of dirt.
Goddamn right.
We're not making that reference again. This is
Yeah.
like the 5th time
Okay.
we've referenced
Alright, so,
that specific scene.
As your vision comes back into the present, you just see Oris. He has a worried look on his face. He immediately rushes up to you and is like really close to you, not like uncomfortably close, but just kind of close. He's like, "Sora, are you okay?"
I kind of like pet Alte a little bit. I'm fine. Just had a nasty flashback there for a second.
You can get this though.
Luckily, that didn't interrupt.
Yeah.
You weren't talking at that specific moment, so we're good.
Why are you here? You should have known that this would be today.
1, I kind of forgot. 2, I'm on a mission. And 3, I promised my mom that I would visit her soon.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to say that you arrived here at this time.
Yeah, I kind of realized that as we were pulling up to the kingdom.
Yeah, well, me being the king, I have to put on a happy mask, if you would say. I believe your stepmother is still at her house. She doesn't really come out during these times.
I don't blame her.
Well, as you know, I'm always here.
Thank you.
He nods his head, turns back, and goes back to talking with some of the people he was before he rushed up.
Alright.
Should we now then switch to Thain and Dave?
What are you guys doing?
We're gonna go check out the festival, air quotes.
Festival?
I'm not 100% convinced these people aren't in danger.
Alright, so as you kind of exit
Party? What's that?
the hexagon walls,
The hexagonal.
walls, you are then greeted by just kind of loud laughter and talking and cheers.
Nope. Oh, God. Why? Must they yell?
They're excited.
You're
You don't
sure?
talk fancy in my
You're sure they're not terrified?
Quite sure.
Like, scale of X to Ebs, what would you say?
Yeah.
I think he'd say he doesn't know what that means.
Sorry, 1 to 15. Sylvan, sorry. It's not.
Okay, Adessa, there was a very specific Tumblr post about how it was like not very good writing to go, oh, I'm sorry.
I know, and I'm
Sometimes it's hard
remembering
to
it right now.
Sometimes it's hard to switch languages.
Fine, let me take it from the top. Scale of 1 to... what's the one after the 15. 15.
Okay, scale of 1 to 15 of what?
How happy would you say these people are?
I'm making a perception check.
With advantage.
Okay.
Are they not terrified?
That is a 15 plus 21.
21? Aren't you supposed to be stupid?
Perception.
I was gonna, yeah.
Well, looking around, everybody does look happy. I mean, what you can tell, it's some type of festival celebrating something.
I would put them at a 15 because if you look at their faces, they're smiling.
Could be a charm spell.
I was gonna say that absolutely Thane's gotta be pretty dumb for what's going on right now, because I'm just gonna outline sort of what's going on right now, is that Aife is currently talking very royally and asking weird questions.
Wait, no, shit, that's not what I meant!
The last time that happened...
No, this isn't my Titania voice, I promise.
Titania remembered to switch into a normal Aife voice after 5 seconds of talking.
Well, you know what? You'll have to trust me. It's okay, he's dumb, it's fine. This isn't even a thing, because he doesn't even realize.
Anyway,
Your point is invalid.
return to the podcast.
You're sure no one's, getting snatched up in the alleys or anything? It could be a charm spell. Charm spells are a real bitch to handle. You wouldn't know.
Just saying, don't have magic, but I'm pretty sure that no one has enough magic to charm this many people.
For one, there are ways that people can generate large amounts of magic. For two, they'll try to grab you any way they can. It's best to be on your guard,
Jack.
especially here.
Bring up how calm I was.
Well, Sora was very calm about this.
She lives here. She's one of the city folk. She's one of the townsfolk. She's civilized, I would say, in your own words. It doesn't really have a parallel.
Roll a persuasion check. You roll an opposing one as well.
Okay.
18.
I don't know what that is. I'm trying to color code my new character sheet, but it's not working out.
I was so confused on what the conversation was.
Me too.
I did not mean to roll that one. What is it? Charisma?
Yeah, I guess. I don't remember. You're rolling an opposed persuasion check.
So an
Stubbornness check.
insight check?
No.
No.
Oh,
Persuasion.
okay.
That's a
Persuasion.
stubbornness check.
I feel like you'd be probably rolling intelligence, and if you rolled low, that would be a failure, I guess.
Well, it's an 18.
You died.
And that's what he.
So you were smart. So you were smart enough to be persuaded that everything was okay. Let's call it that.
I have
What's
charisma
your
plus 5.
persuasion modifier?
They tied.
So, as Thain's talking to you, there's a weird sense in the way he's talking. You calm down just a little bit, but you're still very suspicious about everything that's happening.
Perfect, because the score is matched. So that'll.
They probably wouldn't want these types of folk anyway, so it's probably fine. But
These folk? Please explain yourself.
without sounding too uppity, and I don't really have the words for this necessarily, but these people could be from anywhere.
They could be.
There are certain peoples that come from somewhere.
A bad place?
No, just somewhere special. Or somewhere different than the place where everyone else could be. And that makes them more interesting. If that makes sense.
You
Yeah.
could just say you don't want to talk about it, you know.
Aïfe is an oversharer, but okay. We can cut all this out, it's fine.
Thain, with his low intelligence, believes that Aife is exhibiting a quality of people commonly referred to as racism. There's
I
some
promise
some
it's
people
not.
come from a specific place, and that makes them more interesting.
Different.
And that makes them
stand out-
different.
they stand out more. They stand out more. Here's an example. Have you ever seen anyone else like me?
Nope.
There's a reason for that. And I just reach down and pat him on the back and keep walking.
Can you
Oh,
reach
right.
that
There's-
low?
There's like a 4-foot height difference.
Yeah. You have
Just
to,
like
5 foot height difference.
There's a lot of difference.
Are you 3 feet tall?
He's like 3 feet. 3 feet and change. Not a lot, but
I
some.
was thinking 4 feet. Oh my god.
He's a
My-
short one.
My wife is 3 feet taller than me.
Tall girls, short boys. Well, you're kind
Alright,
of...
are you
Tall girls, short boys, goth boy click is. I can't think of a rhyme that fast.
Okay.
I feel like you guys should end on like a pun or something. No,
Well, you
it's
know
not.
what? We can't always be fucking Sans Undertale, so
Alright, let's
just
Just
switch
make
back
a
to
short
Sora.
joke.
I already did. I already had a great short one-liner at the last episode. I don't need to have two in a
better
row.
than a long one-liner.
Alright, so
There's the pun. Let's switch over.
Yeah.
Intermission time. It's Ace, your producer man, and oh my gosh, is this the fabled Mandela effect? I could have sworn episode 7 and 8 had the arc title of The Magic Tower. Well, you'd be right, they did. As of this episode, these last 3 episodes have been retconned to have the arc title The Savior of Oris and serve as a mini-arc, while the party gears up for the 3rd and last arc and Sora's story is revealed. Sora's story is revealed. I was originally going to call Arc 3, originally Arc 2, The Magic Outage, and then settled on The Magic Tower, which is what it had been, and then during the recording of episode 11, Adessa suggested the brilliant and perfect name, Tower Outage, which is what it will be called starting at episode 10. The soundtrack album for this arc, titled Mystigan, should be out this coming Saturday, March 2nd. I'm very proud of it, and it's quite good if I can give my own opinion. Tweet about our show with hashtag GreenhouseCast or mention our Twitter of the same name, and you might get your name into episode 12. Today's character, our only one, is Louis, Sora's mentor and leader of the revolution, named after Louis Dex, one of our first listeners and our first fan. He didn't tweet about us, but if you do, you might get the same treatment. Only maybe without as much immediate death. Still no sponsors, so let's get back to this super long special episode. children. There's a small human and a small orc boy. You can't tell the gender of the small human; it's too small. Running across the floor of this hallway. The orc tackles the human to the ground, and then you back to your childhood in the orphanage of. Name goes here. That's not what it's called. What's the orphanage's name? Do we have one?
I didn't plan on this.
Oh my god.
We'll name it after. It was the Joseph Twitter Foundation.
No.
Okay, we don't even need to have a name for the orphanage.
You don't remember it.
Yeah, like
To your
Voldemort's-
childhood at the orphanage.
Okay, so how old am I in this flashback?
Just
How old
it
are
doesn't.
you?
Does it really matter? Just be like something like
You're
as
pretty
a
young.
child, I was trained by this guy or something.
Okay, so I'm around 8-ish in this scene, and Sora is kind of getting the crap beaten out of her by some of like the older teenage kids because she's very, very different from normal orphans because, you know, racism, she's a dragonborn, most of them are humans, and orphanages tend to be angsty, and they kind of hate her. So, in one of these instances where she's getting beat up, an elderly man, he has really dark skin, like really dark hair, like also has a cloak on, he's really frickin' mysterious, and he kind of was like, no, leave her alone, and they don't, they're like, screw you, old man, and at that point, he kind of, like, pulls them off of her, not harming them, but is close, and she just, like, sees the face of this old man, and he's, like, has his hand extended to her, and he's like, are you alright, and stuff like that, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to train you, young one, so that when I'm not here, someone will be able to defend the young ones.
So, like, some Mr. Miyagi shit?
No.
This is Sora's purpose. Sora's purpose is defense of the people who can't defend themselves.
Exactly, that's literally the bond, or ideal, or one of the things. Yeah, bond.
That's not a flaw.
Anyway, the proverbial scene cuts to the same orphanage, but out in the admittedly small backyard, where this old employee is sparring with the young Sora Mystigan.
Okay, so he's like, Sora, you need to curl your fingers when you punch, or you're gonna break your frickin' fingers. Breaking your fingers is bad.
I assume then Sora curls her fingers very tightly and throws another punch, which the man easily catches, but then says in his gruff voice that we're absolutely not using because Sora's been voicing him and not using a voice. He says, "You're getting it," and then we cut to, there's fighting. There's like axe combat, spear combat, sword combat, hand to hand. This man is an incredible fighter, and he is teaching the Sora how to become the him. And one day, like this is like as the music of this montage fades out, she goes out to where she would normally meet him in the morning to begin sparring, and he's not there.
Okay.
And the orc boy gets up off of the laughing human child, and they run back out of view.
Can I just say something? Is Mystigan from the other kids in the orphanage watching you when you were first starting out and you couldn't hit the number?
Nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that pun for the fifth time.
Kidding. Just
Okay,
saying,
so-
funny thing.
Are you alright, Sora?
Do I look like I'm frickin' alright?
What's wrong?
Bad shit in my past, coming back.
Because you don't want to explain it right now?
You are correct.
Well, do you have somewhere to go at the moment, or
Yes.
where are you going?
That's not your business.
Well, seeing the state that you're in now, I'm going with you either way.
Fine. And I turn to head out of the castle so that I can go visit my mom.
Okay, we're actually. I think we can. So I think we're not gonna switch perspectives now. We're just gonna cut directly to
Yes, I know.
you having gone to. I don't know where this is. So you describe it.
Okay, so Sora's stepmom and stepsister live on like the outskirts of the kingdom, but it's still a very, very nice house. It's by no means
Wait, the town or the kingdom? Sorry.
The house.
like
The house is on the outskirts of the kingdom or the town?
okay. So there's they live on the outskirts of the capital city.
Okay.
Like this is not just outside of the hexagonal walls. This is outside of the area that's outside of.
This is like if the castle were the Space Needle, this would be like Finney Ridge.
If
Yeah.
sure.
Just
Okay, to people who weren't born in Seattle,
Sorry.
you know, there's two distinct portions of the city, and then the castle in the inner, and the house that Carrie is describing is on. It's real far out there. It's not. It's like it can barely even be considered in the city, if I'm right.
No, it's definitely in the city.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like
In the same way that Brooklyn is technically in New York City, but also like its own thing.
no.
Okay, then I don't know what we're talking
It's-
about, but it's okay.
It's definitely in the city, but it's near like the edge of what would be considered the city. That
Suburbs.
makes sense. Yes, suburbs. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm actually helpful, you guys.
For once.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So, your stepsister, what does she do? Question mark.
She would be 11, right?
Your stepsister.
Yes, she's 11.
Does she do anything?
Yes, she does something. I've been waiting for this forever.
What does she
Okay,
do?
get to it then.
Okay,
She's the age of my
shut up.
sister. Sorry.
Okay, so as soon as Sora comes into like viewing distance from the house, you can see like a little 11-year-old at the window, and she like gasps, and then she just starts running, and then eventually she comes like out of the door and she yells, "Sora!" And then she just tackles Sora, and yes, she actually does tackle her because she's kind of unprepared for
Yes.
to be knocked over at the moment. So that happens. What do you do?
I stand in shock to see somebody tackle you to the ground.
Yeah. So I'm going to hug her, and I forgot her name.
Shame on you.
Sister!
Okay. Sora did not forget it. Carrie, who is a dumbass, forgot it.
We're
And
all dumbasses.
so Sora's just like, "Kara!" and hugs her, and then she's like, "Can you get off of me, please?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sorry," and gets off of her. They both stand up, and they both walk in to the house. I'm assuming you're gonna follow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna follow. And Kara is just talking to Sora nonstop. She's like, "Okay, while you were gone, I learned some new spells," because she's training to be a wizard. She's like, "I can do Mage Hand now! Watch!" And then she like looks down and realizes she doesn't have her spell book, and she's like, "Mom! Where's my spell book?" I'm disappointed none of you made an Incredibles reference. Okay.
I was playing on.
Yeah, I was thinking it, but I didn't want to.
Where's my super suit?
Okay.
Where is my super
Okay,
suit?
stop.
Okay. Moving on from that.
I'm your mom. That is good.
You are ever gonna get.
Anyway, podcast.
Okay. And then she's like, "You left it on the table. Why?" And then she's like, nothing.
Hang on. Wizards get their cantrips from inside their brain.
She's not that good yet.
Cantrips.
She's in training.
Mage hand's a cantrip.
She's
Yeah.
training.
Yeah, that means she
Training.
needs to memorize the cantrips.
Just
if
because
she hasn't done
you
that yet.
cantrip doesn't mean you have to. So stop tripping.
But it's fun.
Yeah, so she has her cantrips written down because she doesn't have them memorized because she's 11. Okay, Jeff?
Fine.
Don't judge her.
judging very harshly.
Okay, so she like runs into the dining room and she picks up her spellbook and she's flipping through it because she doesn't remember where she put it because she just opened it up and wrote the words down because she's kind of not organized, to say the least. And then she runs back into where Sora was and she does the incantation and she then she's like, watch this, and then she kind of like pulls her hand out, says the words, and she's like, look at the mug, look at it, and it's just floating, and she like brings it to her hand and she's like, see? And
She high fives it.
She's 11.
I know.
For a dragonborn, that's...
She's not a dragonborn.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a human.
Oh, she's full human. Okay.
Yeah, because her parents were both humans. Yeah, stepsister, so.
Yeah, okay, got it.
And Sora just kind of has this dumb smile on her face. And then she, like, looks at her sister's face, finally. And her sister has this really gruesome scar along, like, starting at the mid of, like, above the eyebrow on her left eye. And it curves around her eye nearly to the bridge of her nose. And it looks like someone literally, like, had a hold of her chin and cut into her face because that's what happened because her dad is a dick. And for some reason, Sora no longer feels guilty at all. Imagine that.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can you maybe say that she does feel incredibly angry?
Oh yeah, the guilt is replaced with just straight up anger, but she kind of isn't expressing that at the moment because sister.
And I flashback.
Yes.
So, at 15, Dragonborns are considered mature, and as this was not the most accommodating of orphanages, the second that she turned it, she was tossed out, left on the front porch, and left to go fend for herself. And she stayed in the kingdom for around 5 years, working odd jobs and the like. So, Sora, you're working at a bar?
I am. And I want to die because it's really fucking boring.
Just like every job. I don't... Okay, I'm gonna break the fiction here, lay this out a little bit out on the table. It's been like 2 months since we recorded episode 9, since we're doing that. We're re-recording the flashbacks because the original recordings weren't great. We had one little thing that inspired the name of the episode that you're gonna see in a little bit that we're leaving in. Other than that, yeah, so I'm just breaking the fiction here to say, we don't know what's going on!
To quote Marvin Gaye, what's going on? If you haven't listened to that album, you should, because it's amazing.
Yeah, also to quote Marvin Gaye, which is something he probably said once, why did you make that reference? It was really random, and I don't think anybody was thinking that.
Because my brain went to there, and I say things that fit into my head.
Is it because you've been spacing out when you're in A-Push? Been looking up at that wall of records like,
No, it's because I also took rock and roll and we went over that, so...
Good alibi. But is it true?
Yes. Do you want me to... There's my phone. I will pull up my grade in rock and roll. It was like 106.
Yeah, I was like, this suddenly seemed like a very mad dash to proof thing, and I'm like, do you really think I need proof, or do you just want to brag about your grade of 106 in history of rock and roll? Exposed!
What can I say? I like to brag about my grades.
I don't, because they're bad. Hey, editing me, edit in some air horn noises. I'm not going to.
Oh, I actually did get 106. I got a 96. I didn't get a 97 on the final. Whatever.
What did you get?
It says I got a 97.
What do you think you got?
95. Oh yeah, I got extra credit. Oh well, whatever. See?
Remembering things on the fly with Greenhouse Tavern.
Rock and roll. I took it.
So you're at a bar!
I am.
You're working there, Sora wearing this very classic cliche maid outfit. It doesn't fit very well. She's sort of just like walking around with stiff arms the way that you do when you're wearing something that doesn't go on you very well.
Which is a lot of things, because I'm nearly 18 feet tall.
You're also nearly 8 feet tall, but
Shut the fuck
but
up.
not quite, and she will never stop reminding you.
I'm aware of that, so...
We love these little character traits.
I don't. Some of them I do. Most of them I don't. Like,
Well, we gotta have original and endearing characters with their own little tropes and stuff. Like, Taco's good out here, or Magnus rushes in. We gotta have our stuff. And for Aife, Aife's taller than you. We're just as good as the Adventure Zone guys.
Okay.
And we record about as often, too.
I'm on episode 2, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, same. I ended up, like, I was on episode 10 of the Adventure Zone. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to consciously make a decision to try and figure out who's talking. And then I did that. So, Sora, you're at a bar!
Take 3.
Take 3. Sora, you're at a bar. Or take 4, I guess. Because we did one a while back, and then you had to leave.
Oh, yeah. So technically that'd be take 5 then.
No, this is take 4. We've done 3 takes today, and then the 1 take that you had to leave in the middle of last
and yes, and then the 1 take that was the entire episode.
And then the 1 take during the entire episode. You're totally right.
Heck yeah.
5. Take 5. Well, hold on. Since we just interrupted this to say take 5, I'm gonna have to say, Sora, you're at a bar again, making this take 6. More like take 6 minutes to do 1 sentence. Hey, Sora, you're at a bar wearing a maid outfit. You hate it. It's bad. I broke Carrie.
I'm already broken, but alright.
Bold of you to assume I wasn't already broken. Since we're going to talk like Greenhouse Tavern characters now. And that's, I assume, what we would all say.
Probably. Cue Jeff's silence.
I don't know what the rest of your sentence was, but you said silence.
I said cue Jeff's silence.
Ah, I thought you said huge F, as in like to pay respects, and then silence. Sorry, you're at a bar, take 7! You hate the maid outfit. You have been there for about 3 days, and you're already on the last leg of the administration, who's probably going to fire you on your 4th. As you serve your drink to some creepy old dude who's being all flirty and disgusting, and if he asks for another drink, you're probably going to have to kick him out of the bar. You love that part of the job.
Actually, no, I would punch him out of the bar.
Oh, you would punch him out of the bar. Because, as you know, the phrase to kick somebody out of something always literally means kicking them. Because, you know,
That's what I would do.
Well, it's not what you would do.
It is what I would do.
Well, you see,
There's a reason I'm getting fired tomorrow.
I would literally kick the person out of the bar, except I wouldn't. I would punch them, see? Sorry, you're at a bar, take 8. No, I'm kidding. We're already past that. Old creepy dude, you sort of walk down the rest of the aisle in your ill-fitting maid costume, and nobody else really is doing anything except, like, drinking or talking. These are the things you normally do at a place like this. And it's because nothing we ever do in this podcast is normal. That's quite a surprise. Maybe this was before the great anti-normal curse spread across the entire land of... What's this land called? Of Davidia. Before this anti-normal curse spread across the land of Davidia. That was actually going to be the final plot of the podcast. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, you reach the end of the bar, and there's just sort of this dude. Maybe it's a dude. You don't know because they're wearing an enormous cloak. It's black, big fitting. Not really doing anything, not drinking nor talking, just sort of looking down at the table. But, you know, sitting up at the counter, which is a thing you can do in this bar. I'm underage. I don't know if that's a thing you can do everywhere else.
We're not allowed to drink, so...
Yeah.
We're doing our best, okay?
We're doing our best. We're doing our best, okay? This guy is just sitting there. He's doing a sort of like he's not doing anything, but also he's not just like quietly sitting at a table. He's up here.
Can I get you something?
And he was definitely waiting for this. Like this wasn't spur of the moment. He was like sort of preparing for you to say that. He just sort of like almost dramatically pulls back
Why are you dramatically pulling back your hood? Do I know you?
You say, as he pulls back his hood very slowly, long enough for you to say a full sentence. Incredibly
That was
dramatic.
2 sentences.
Yeah, I'll give you that. even slower, he pulls back his hood. This funny moment. This is the guy you thought died.
Oh, you're alive. Oh, okay. Give me
I'm sure that you, the astute listener, were obviously hadn't guessed that. I mean, this was a big, major revelation to you when this guy pulls back his hood. And it's him. It's the man who was, he trained you to be fight. He trained you to be fight and do fighting. And M good guy. He trained you to M good guy. And
welcome to the high school life.
Welcome to the Greenhouse Tavern.
I don't know what we're doing anymore.
You thought this guy, not dead.
So, you're not dead.
Hello to you too, he says. I don't know how he talks. Is that how he talks?
I don't know.
He's wearing some sunglasses. He has his skateboard up under his...
No, it'd be
that's
surfboard.
radical.
It'd be a surfboard.
How? Isn't this extremely inland? Isn't the kingdom of what is now the kingdom... Yeah, what is now the kingdom of Oris really far inland?
Yeah.
Why would anybody have a surfboard there?
For aesthetic. That's why.
Is there anything in D&D about surfing?
I don't think...
Magical surfing!
Oh my god.
Okay, guys. Podcast is over. I just thought of a much better campaign. Surfer campaign. Something's taking away the waves. No, okay, we're not doing that. Alright. Consent of everybody in this circle, of which there are 2 of us right now, is that... No, let's not do that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Hello to you too, he says, in a voice. It's some voice. You figure it out, listener. You do it. Hey, I do a lot of work on this podcast. You do some. What does he sound like? You figure it out.
He's ranted about this like 4 times now.
Twice, and one of them is not. One of them I'm cutting it out. This is exactly what we did last time, and then you had to leave before we could finish.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, you're in a bar. Take 9. No.
That'd be take 8, but...
Would it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you said take 8 and then said I'm just kidding.
Sorry, okay, wait. Sorry, you're in a bar. Take 8. Take 2.
This is why we never get anything done.
Okay. Yes, I'm sorry that I had to leave you so soon after I taught you all the cool stuff I taught you. He doesn't say it like that. This is just sort of a synopsis of his sentence. I kinda got arrested, he says.
How do you kinda get arrested?
Well, sometimes you say figures of speech, and they mean things. Like, occasionally you might say something like, I kinda got arrested, and what it means is I got arrested.
So why didn't you just say I got arrested?
Because people say things that mean other things sometimes. People say figures of speech. When you say,
Okay, you taught me how to fight, not English, okay?
Listen, I don't know what this English thing is.
Okay.
I'm speaking this thing called common. Where was I? Okay, my sister is playing a Halsey song in the background, and Carrie is just sort of moving her body along to it, which you couldn't tell because this is an audio podcast. It's very quiet, and we can both hear it.
I hope it's actually the first time I've ever been able to actually hear her music. So,
yeah, I hope it doesn't come through on the podcast. It's probably not going to, but you'd be surprised how much stuff gets picked up by the microphone, especially when people think they're being quiet.
Rant 3.
Yeah, no, this is like actually a rant. I've told them so many times that the microphone will pick them up even though they think they're being quiet.
Guilty.
Anyway, so, long story short, I was doing a bit of work against the government. Government didn't like that. They threw me in prison. That wasn't canon. Like, before we had decided that he only figured out how bad the government was after he got thrown in prison. Somebody else hired me to do some work against the government. I needed money since that job was so bad at the, like, I'm pretty sure we can both agree that
The orphanage was shit.
yeah, that orphan place, not good. They don't pay their people well. As I was in jail, and I saw, I really liked the line that I said there, which was, as I saw how bad it was in the jail, I also began to realize how bad it was outside. How bad the society that King Everwood? I remembered it right. King Everwood has made for us really is. Yeah, that's a sentence. I sort of interrupted the sentence in the middle of it, so I had to check if I was saying it right. Anyway. This conversation sure is taking a while, isn't it? He says. He doesn't say that. Where was I? Right. So then I realized the person who hired me was absolutely correct. Long story short, I'm starting a rebellion. You don't happen to have any real attachment to this job, do you? Because if not, I want you to join me.
Well, whether or not I actually have an attachment to this job is kind of irrelevant at this point, because I'm probably going to get fired tomorrow, so...
Alright.
Cool.
But you don't, like, want to stay?
Hell no.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Look at this fucking uniform.
I was going to mention it, but I figured it might be insulting. I'm basically blind at this point. I'm real old. Oh yeah, he's real old now.
Like, Dumbledore old, we're talking.
Not Dumbledore old. Like, it hasn't been that long. He was middle-aged when he taught you stuff, and now he's like...
He's not Dumbledore old.
He's not Dumbledore old, guys. Here's his age. He does not look the same as Dumbledore. All of the qualities about this man are a complete mystery. You figure it out, listener. I'm kidding. He's at that spot where he's definitely, you couldn't call him middle-aged anymore, but he's definitely not old yet. Got them wrinkles
So he's middle-aged.
Like, end middle-aged.
End middle-aged.
He lives in the Middle Ages. He fires a catapult into the bar, breaking down the whole door, and he says, "Join my revolution!" They have Spanish accents. Spanish! They have Southern accents in the Middle Ages. I guess Spain is, like, south of somewhere, right? Alright, this has been real fun. So I'm assuming you say yes, tear off your uniform, and walk after him.
Well, no, I don't tear it. Well, yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, like, you're definitely wearing something under the uniform, because that would be, like, creepy and bad if you weren't.
Yeah.
That would be like a...
I was about to say that, but then realized...
Wait. What about the bit where you asked how he found you? That was also a thing that happened when we first recorded this part.
Also, like, yeah, I'll join, but how in the hell a fuck did you find me?
Well, hella fucks is a pretty nice description for... Now I'm giving him the southern accent! Hold on. He has a southern accent now. Well, hella fucks was a pretty nice way for me to describe the scene that I found it back at the old inn you used to work at, that Chateau Dragon. It wasn't great. You did a pretty big number on that place when you quit, so I was told by the owner.
Oh yeah, I used my lightning breath on it. That was cool.
Why'd you do that?
Okay, the customer was being a complete dick, okay?
Understandable.
People are assholes.
Completely true.
And so I used my lightning breath on him, and also hit the main entrance. But that's completely irrelevant.
Yeah, I'm sure it was an accident.
Except for killing the guy. Which I'm kind of shocked I didn't get charged for murder for, but...
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
he didn't mention
everyone.
anything about a murder. Maybe he rolled 3 successful death saving throws.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know what the fuck is English. I'm speaking common. Let's go start a revolution.
Cool.
Then you... So we already had a training montage. Now we have an espionage montage. Ooh, an espion montage. An espy montage. Hold on, I gotta figure this out.
An espionage?
That sort of works. I'm looking for something that, like, really hits the spot. Montage of espionage. Anyway, a very very obviously inspired by the Mission Impossible theme song plays right now, which I have composed after we recorded this, and I put it into the podcast, or at least I better have. Is playing.
Future Ace, do the thing, or past Ace is gonna kill you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, right now we're just talking over this thing that I've definitely put into the podcast. So let's get into the montage. So, people are sneaking into official government locations and stealing plans, setting fire to things. People sneak into the castle and steal blueprints. I just sort of onomatopoeia'd what blueprints were since I forgot the words for a second.
Yes, and we're all wearing cloaks because everyone knows if you're wearing a cloak, you're automatically inconspicuous.
Well, I mean, you gotta wear a cloak. That way they don't say like, "Hey, there's that dragonborn who is blue running away from here." They say, "Somebody was in a cloak and they ran away, man. That's all I got."
And they were also nearly 8 feet tall, but
maybe you hunched over a bit.
They also looked like a hunchback, so
that's actually that really good disguise. Looked like, and it's weird because they were as tall as a normal person, even though they were hunched over. So I would assume they're about 8 feet tall. You are at one point definitely dangling from a rope as you sort of like are lowered into an area to like grab some plans behind the guards who are talking or something. Very like comedic movie scene.
So tempted to do the Flynn Rider thing.
Oh, what happened?
It was like, "Hey, how you doing? Bye!" And then the guards turned around and they're like, "Shit!" They didn't actually say that because it was, in fact, a Disney movie, and you don't cuss in a Disney movie. Yeah, like that new Steven Universe episode where they landed on... Oh, hold on. Should I say this? Because it's a spoiler. Spoilers incoming. Yeah. If you don't want spoilers, skip like 10 seconds ahead. Rhodonite lands on the beach and is like, "Finally, no more diamonds." And then she sees all the diamonds and she's like, "Oh, well, we're cracked." She definitely said, "Well, we're fucked." But they couldn't put that in the show, so they said cracked instead. Like, that was the entire tone that she had. Okay, spoilers over. Would that be in character for Sora to do? What? Hey, guys! How you doing? Yeah. No. So as cool as it would be, not in character. Damn it. You can do other cool things. What would be a cool spy thing in character for Sora to do? Well, she is a dork, so she could hum her own theme music. We don't know what the theme music is going to sound like yet. I know. So just imagine Sora humming this. And by that I mean imagine my voice humming this. Got it, listener? Yeah, listener, listener, you do the work. You're doing a lot of work this episode. We're real proud. It is eventually all of this rebellion stuff leads to a full-scale revolution. It's Bastille Day, as was said by probably Adessa in the original recording. Probably. And yeah, there's fire in the streets. People are all, assaulting the guards. Viva Revolution! Like banging on the doors of the bourgeoisie, going all. I'm surprised you said that right. I'm a good English person sometimes. That's French. Okay, that. Okay, yeah, I walked directly into that one. I also said good English person. Which proves that you are, in fact, not as good as... Anyway, I say bourgeoisie sometimes when I'm plotting the overthrow of the United States. Stuff is happening. There's many things. Big wins from some of Oris's heaviest hitters. Real award show stuff going on right now. It's not Oris, though. It's gonna be. It's gonna be Oris, but remember what it is now? Waris. No. It's Waris! No, it's David something. No, Davidia is the whole land. Oh, it is? Yeah, I just named it Davidia. Oh, okay. I'm a dumbass. Yeah, this place is like Everwoodis. Everwoodburg. Everwoodland. I'm trying to think of something that would... Ever wouldn't. No, that's the name of the king after he gets killed. Okay. Moving on. Spy music still playing. Would there be spy music playing right now, or would it be revolution music? It's could, like, alternate.
Yeah, it'd be like I can't do examples because then I'd be like doing music stuff and there's music playing. I can't do that. Just assume that I did it. I'm good at music. Revolution stuff is like fire in the streets. People are fighting and assaulting and knocking at the doors. I already said all that, but it's a reminder it's happening. You're doing a lot of work. I figured I'd catch you up on it, listener. And as you and the... Does he have a name?
Who?
The dude. Your mentor man. His name is Louis. His name is Louis Dex.
Why?
Because I needed hair in my mouth. It's my own hair. I'm gonna cut that out. That's gross. Because I needed to name a character after our listener, because we're doing that thing where with if you tweet about us, we'll put your name in the podcast, and this guy didn't tweet about us, but he was our first fan who listened to our first episode and was like, "Oh, I love this so much." So this one goes out to you, Louis Dex.
Oh, I thought that you named him Louis after name a French king, and it's Louis, who was also the name of the French king at the time of the French Revolution. I'm a history nerd if you couldn't figure that out yet.
I think it's Louis with an E, not with an S. I'm not sure though, I don't remember.
French Louis has an S in it.
Yeah, I'm talking about this guy.
Oh, well.
Your dude who I've heard from the lion's mouth? From the horse's mouth or from the lion's mouth? I forget the term. So to speak, that is the spitting image of the... What class? I forgot. From the player's handbook.
What?
Louis, he looks like one guy from the player's handbook.
Oh, he looks like the fighter dude in the player's handbook.
Okay, the fighter in the
player's handbook. If you have a player's
handbook,
handbook, just open to the fighter page, and that's exactly what he looks like without a super mysterious cloak on. Except a little older.
Isn't he wearing a lot of armor in that? We don't remember because we have no memory. Anyway, Louis, you, and a bunch of other NPCs who I haven't introduced but are also key features in the rebellion and the revolution. You're all sitting at a table discussing your final overthrow of the king when the door slams open. No. When the door slams off its hinges and flies to the other side of the room, and like guards just storm in.
Does it smack someone in the face?
No. You're all at a table. This isn't funny. This isn't a funny moment.
Yes, but you need funniness to counteract the very sadness.
Not when it's happening. Not as it's happening.
Okay, it hasn't happened yet, which means there's still time for a funny moment.
But it's about to happen.
Yeah. So cue a funny moment.
Listen,
right before the sadness.
This rapper came to school once, and he told a funny joke about how his grandmother always had pictures of Jesus up in her house. He was like, the picture of Jesus, and then you'd look across the hall and you'd see the picture of Jesus, and then you'd walk down the hall, and at the very end of the hall was her big, enormous picture of Jesus, and everybody was laughing, and then he was like, and he would always she would always laugh and hold up the picture of her sons who died, and I was like, you can't just do that quickly after a joke. That's what's happening right now. Because bad thing is about to happen. Guards storm in. There's so many that you don't know how they got there without making so much noise that, like, you'd have been able to hear them way before they came in. But they were quiet.
They nat 20'd on stealth.
They nat 20'd on stealth. This is actually I have a different party who's playing all the guards, and I'm just running these two adventures against each other, and they don't know about it. That's not true.
Or is it? Conspiracy theory.
Pause for effect. Or is it?
I can't even be mad because that was good.
All right, guys. There's our joke right before the sad thing.
Oh, so that's okay, but someone gets
It's not
smacked
okay.
in the face.
It isn't. That's what I'm saying. It's not okay. It just happened anyway. All right, guards. They all come in, and there's like 4 of them for each one of you. And Louis stands up, and although he is old, he has not lost any of his fighting prowess as he punches, kicks him. Does he have a weapon? Or is he just unarmed at the table?
He has a super cool axe.
Was the axe in the player's handbook?
I don't fucking know.
He has an axe. He chops one in the...
He chops one of their heads off.
No, he chops one in the shoulder, but like the axe stays in the shoulder and it like collapses. But he lost the axe. I guess. I'm just adding a narrative elements to this thing that wasn't supposed to take this long.
We're intelligent, I swear.
And they've got you all restrained and held down. And one of the guards says, "This is all happening in a very fast blur to you. As you're doing pretty good too, Sora. You're knocking them out left and right. But eventually, they too are able to hold you back.
Damn it!
They got some really tall guards in there.
I don't think tall would be necessary. I just think numerous of them would be necessary.
Okay, there's a lot of them. They're all really short, but they're standing on each other's shoulders.
They're all just dwarves.
Damn it! No, we're doing funny things again.
Humor will overtake
Louis
the
fucking
sadness.
dies.
Oh shit!
Like this was already a thing. Like one of the guards looks at Louis and he says, "This one's from King Everwood," and he stabs him in the heart. Like that was a thing. We did that in the original recording of the episode. Then this isn't out of nowhere. Like we both knew this was going to happen, and we kept being funny. Louis's dead.
Oh no! Sorry, Louis.
Take 2. Try that one again.
No, I was apologizing to the guy that he named it after.
Yeah, oh yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Louis Dex. We just did the equivalent thing of when, like, those dudes won the competition to have their trolls put in Homestuck and then they were killed after one page. Yeah, we did that. Sorry. Sorry to, that person who only, like, I don't know if they actually go by Louis. Anyway, Sora, your mentor, your look up to person, and your
Hold on, I have to be sad now.
and your moral compass just like got killed. Oh, I just figured out what your shirt said. Anyway,
Same.
you bought it without knowing. What does Sora say?
I'm too happy to record this. Hold on. Can't you just take part of the recording?
It's just no.
No! Just imagine.
Take 2. Try that one again.
Imagine the Luke Skywalker scream when he finds out Darth Vader's is dead. Spoiler alert, by the way. If you don't know that.
In case you were already spoiled for the new Steven Universe episode, but you'd never watched Star Wars before.
Yeah, if you've never watched Star Wars, what the fuck is wrong?
What does Sora say?
No!
Okay, we've established that Carrie can't act.
I can. I'm just too happy to act right now. Okay.
Get yourself in the mood. You gotta have motivation.
Hold on. I have to look at dead puppies.
Don't do that. We're already wasting way too much time.
Hold on. I'll make myself sad.
Oh my god, we've been recording for over half an hour.
Holy shit.
Almost 40
Dead
minutes.
puppies.
No! Stop!
Almost.
This episode's gonna be more than 2 hours long.
Oh no, I don't actually want to watch that. That looks depressing.
Yeah! It does, doesn't it? That was loud. Alright.
Hold on. Okay. Let's see. What's something that will actually make me depressed? Oh shit, I have homework. Perfect. Homework is very depressing. Okay. What was I doing again?
No.
No!
Alright, Carrie can't act. Let's,
I know. I'm, like I said, too happy right now.
Yeah, this is why we can't be super funny. There's a lot of other reasons why we can't be funny, but that's one of them. So you break free and you kick and punch a couple extra. They try and hold you back again, but you're able to...
Lightning breath. What?
Everwood?
No.
Aren't you going to use it on him?
Well, I can use it every 6 turns.
I thought it was every day.
No.
Isn't that how Dragonborns work? You lightning breath. You're able to leap into one of the secret passageways, and you run.
Which is surprisingly big. I'm sorry.
You run and you run and you trip and you fall, and sort of like as you roll from like this underground tunnel into like the public view of the city, you come out rolling, and then you sort of like steady yourself and stand up, and there in front of you is the king's castle.
Well, that's convenient. I don't actually say that. By the way.
Okay, it's that is a good point. It's not directly in front of you. It's not like right there. Like it's still a ways away. You're gonna have to run there, but like It's like, you see it. It's big. It's there. You can see it from almost anywhere in the city, and this place is no exception. And she charges into the castle with murderous intent in her eyes.
Toward the castle, but yeah.
Yeah, she charges toward the castle is what I was trying to say there. She charges toward the castle, murderous intent in her eyes.
And I would just like to add, before we flash back to the present, Sora already has her amulet, and it's, like, on one half, it's completely frozen, and on the other half, it's boiling. So, like, her sadness, her anger.
What does it mean?
Bing, 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 bing. And now we're back to the present.
Okay. So, Alma, who is Sora's stepmom, like, comes down the stairs, and she's like, Kara, what are you Oh. You didn't tell me you were coming. And Sora's like, sorry, I forgot.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. And then her mom had a bunch of books in her hands because she was studying and trying to help Kara, with the whole wizard thing. And she just drops all of them, leaps down the frickin' stairs, and just goes and hugs her daughter because...
I was going to say, so is this Kara's biological mother and your stepmother?
Yes.
Okay.
And then goes and hugs Sora, which is kind of awkward because, like, height difference and shit. But...
Also, Dragonborns are a little spiky.
Yeah, well. Okay. And so, like, they break away from the hug, and Alma is getting pretty old, and like...
She's like 50.
Yes, she's like 50. Her hair is graying. Her wrinkles are starting to become apparent. Stuff like that. You gonna do anything? You're here too, remember?
I'm just gonna...
yeah.
Well, I was letting you, like, explain stuff and, like, have your moment at the time, so I was waiting. Well, after seeing Oma drop the books, I'm gonna go over and pick them up for her.
Oh, thank you, dear. Who are you?
Oh, like, here's the thing. We're running so over, but I love this so much that we're gonna keep going.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it is just us doing random shit, so...
It's gonna get cut, but I still think we're gonna run a bit longer than normal.
It's okay.
Oh, my bad. My name is Karma. I'm one of Sora's friends.
Yeah. And then Alma kind of, like, turns and looks at both Karma and Sora, and she's like, Sora, you know my rule about weapons. And Sora's just like, fine. Karma, she doesn't let any weapons in the house, by the way. Sorry, I forgot.
But why?
Why the fuck do you think, dipshit?
I don't know.
Just put your freaking weapons down and I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So I kind of go back to the threshold to the door and just, like, start unpacking shit. Like, the lance, the modified lance that I now have, my shield. She takes her crossbow out, stuff like that. And then she, like, turns to go back and into the house. And her mom's just like, Sora. And she's like,
All of them.
fine! And, like, pulls a dagger from her boots and it's just like,
Oh my god.
are you happy now? Yes, thank you.
How much weapons do you have?
Not enough.
Apparently.
It's like that
That
one.
was sick.
It's like that one scene in Sinbad where they go into the party and one of the crew members just starts unloading all of his weapons, and then the party scene happens, and then they're like, "We're leaving," and the guy's just like, "I still have more to unload. What do I do?"
I just realized that if Sora lived her whole life in an orphanage and then got kicked out and then performed odd jobs and then did a rebellion and then killed the king, when would she have time to have had a stepmom?
Afterwards.
After the rebellion?
Yeah.
After the king was killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, after that, they kind of bonded, and now this is, like, whenever she's not on a mission, this is where she stays. Because she doesn't like Peach.
Bring Kara any presents?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the answer of I didn't, but I'll bullshit one.
You're goddamn right. Well, I was thinking of the whole Wizard Tower mission, so I was going to bring her something from that. But, okay. And then I turn and, like, stare down Carmen. I'm like, the weapons
Right.
now.
Right. Right? Fine.
Actually,
All two of them.
by the way, that I was Alma, not Sora, staring you down.
Right. Sorry.
Can I say this? Like, you're not beginning a scene that's going to take a while, are you?
No.
Okay.
I take my weapons and I put them with Sora's weapons.
Alrighty, now that that's over, she kind of stretches and she's like, so why are you in town? You say it.
Carrie refuses to have a conversation with herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we are on a mission, but Sora's wanted to come here.
You heard nothing.
Kara butts in and she's like, oh, where are you going? Are you going somewhere cool? Did you bring me a present? And Sora's like, one, we're going to a wizard tower. And at that point, Kara interrupts her again. And she's like, ooh, what kind of magic is it? David, what kind of magic do they do?
Oh my god, this is just your me impression.
Okay, shush.
She's 11.
Let's get going.
It's a me impression.
Be quiet.
It's all kinds of magic. This is
Okay.
this is the source of all magic.
Okay. And she's like, well, they study, according to the Queen of Raltoid, former queen actually, they study many, many different types of magic, and so they don't study a specific type of magic, yes.
She wouldn't know, would she? That Rhea's been crowned king.
Yeah, I would, because I was
they
at the
were-
coronation.
okay.
Yeah!
I mixed up who was talking. Sorry, keep going.
It's because she's not doing voices.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
have
It's
a
fine.
voice
I mixed
for
up.
Alma.
I mixed up who was talking. It's my fault. Keep going.
Then Alma's like, oh, that's nice. And then, okay, so Alma, for some backstory for the listeners, is a really fuck-off powerful mystic. And because she's above level 2, she has telepathy. So she's gonna, like, talk into Sora's mind, and she's, like, gonna be like, are you alright?
And immediately, one of the voices.
That's what I was hoping would happen!
Immediately, on your left side of your head, you hear the happy shit. He's like,
Who's this? Did you get us a new friend?
Hey, guys,
Welcome to hell.
remember, we're gonna try not talking when, because you guys did good there, but we need to try and not talk because I'm doing cool effects with his voice for these.
Okay.
and then on your right side, you just hear.
Sora is just like, Mom, I'm fine. And then Alma's like, who the fuck is in your head?
Oh, where are the rings she's wearing, I think. I don't know how we got here. All I know is that I'm hers now, so.
Coming from the left side of your head.
Alma looks down at, like, the rings and she's like... Kara's just, like, grabs one of her hand and is like, ooh, what's this?
And as she, like, kind of turns away, you hear it as it flies out of her hand and, like, just sticks to the other ring.
That's new.
Is it?
Is
Didn't
Sora's
this already
speaking.
happen?
No.
They've never been separated far
Yeah.
enough for that to happen. And she's like, then almost like, Kara, what did I tell you about taking stuff that's not yours? Ultimate mom, and I love her. Also, this is weird voicing 3 characters. So.
It says in your notes, actual Molly Weasley.
And it's fine.
No.
Not wrong.
It's fine. You'll get used to it. Keep going.
And Kara's like, sorry. And Sora just smiles down at her, just like, you are an actual angel. And also, I forgot about this fact, but Kara's spellbook is in fact bigger than her arms.
Aww.
So it's kind of really bulky, so she just kind of like yeets it somewhere. No, she doesn't actually do that. She just like sets it down back on the table.
From the right side of your brain is like, I really hate that I'm saying this right now, but can you please put my brother back on your finger, or whatever we want to call it? Just This is really weird to feel.
That was the sound effects of me taking, separating the rings, and then putting the ring for the shoulder angel back onto the middle finger of my right hand.
Thank you for podcasting.
The left. The good one's on the left.
I thought you were tapping your hand for time.
No, the good angel's on your left side.
So, Olma, pulls up one of her sleeves and's like, well, I'll make dinner. And Olma has a gigantic burn scar all along her left arm.
So, you have just run through the entire city. I haven't asked, and I don't think I know. Is the city itself, because the surrounding land, I feel like he's king of all of it. Everwood is king of all of it. So it's all the land of Everwood.
Yeah.
So is the city itself called something different? Or is it something like Everwood City, like how Oregon's got an Oregon City?
I don't know.
Alright, so this is the part where the players help build the world that the DM is building, except they don't! Because they're bad at it.
I'm sorry.
You should be! No. So you've just run through the whole length of... Not the whole length. You weren't at the very edge of Everwood City. And, as you... Where was the part about the hidden entrance? Because we had a whole little thing about the hidden entrance into the castle. Into the palace. And then David was like, oh, that's the difference. Anyway, people were storming the gates of the castle. They weren't able to get in, but Sora, using a secret entrance that is... We couldn't figure out what the secret entrance was when we were recording, and I think even now we still haven't figured out what that secret entrance was.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If you tap the bricks in a certain order, they just fall away.
Oh, yes.
Because that's
please,
totally
J.K. Rowling, please don't listen to this podcast. Called out. Call out post for Carrie steals ideas from J.K. Rowling.
Who doesn't steal ideas from J.K. Rowling?
Me. I'm just kidding, I totally do. Not for the podcast, though. Anyway.
Well, I said that as a joke.
That's a good... Okay, touche.
Yeah.
Yeah, fight me.
Okay.
And as you collapsed in front of the painting of the Shadow Dragon, you... Okay, it wasn't really a collapse. That was a misterm. You stopped to catch your breath, sort of slumped down to the ground, got back up. You run through the halls of the palace, and through the many days of your, sort of rebellion/revolution thing going on, a lot of people were able to invade the castle to steal things, blueprints and plans. But although you read the blueprints and plans before you had come here, you yourself had never been in this castle before. Despite that, as you run along the length of its corridors, it almost felt like she'd been there before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this some Tangled Gone Dark stuff right now?
It's Tangled in reverse.
It's Delgnat.
Oh my god.
What? Oh my god! What? I did that perfectly! I can't do the thing where I can backwards spell in my mind. I just sort of did Delgnat is Tangled spelled backwards.
That should be your nickname for Sora, not...
Oh my god! I'm really proud of the fact that I did that. We're keeping
This is the Delgnat arc?
We're keeping that in the podcast. That's the name of this episode, is Delgnat.
Cool.
That's, to the people who are wondering, how is this episode named that? What?
Listen to the episode.
Yeah, listen to the episode that you're currently listening to.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're actually in a very serious climactic point of the episode. So we're gonna do that. You recognize it. It feels like you've been here before and you know it. And yeah, I should. Maybe since you were born here, I should maybe put something about that into the podcast. I should say something hinting at that.
What?
Yeah, I should say something hinting at that, maybe. That would be such a good idea. I should do that.
That would be such a good idea.
Yeah, I should do that. It's weird that I haven't done that yet. So you arrive at the throne room of King Everwood. It's big. There are big throne rooms in a lot of places. It's how you do it. The king is in a big room with big things, and it's how you know he's big. But
you know how he's freaking powerful, that's how.
this throne room, it itself is big, but it's solitary. There's a throne in the center of it. It presumably was lit by some large source of maybe magically oriented in the center, but due to some reason or other, probably to do with quelling the revolution, it is out. So a lot of this room is awash in darkness. And as this doesn't do anything to impair your vision, I assume, since you have dark vision, right? Oh, well, either way, it's not like...
It's not advanced darkness. Welcome to Carrie Steals Things from Other Series.
Yeah. And King Everwood says, I knew you would come. He doesn't. It's like people would come into this room and ask favors of the king, and to do so they would walk across this like enormous fantasy linoleum-esque tiled floor with all these intricate designs on it. But other than that, and without the presumably enormous light source that would have shined upon everything and made it sparkle, this enormous room with just one throne, only that in the center of it, it's just... It feels abandoned. It just doesn't... instead of seeming big, it just makes it seem small. What did you have envisioned?
Well, I had envisioned that I had just, peeked through the door, and they didn't see me, and then I saw that, and then I was going to walk in.
That doesn't change much of what's going on. It's sure, for one, but even if it did, this is your thing to craft the scene. It's just, you hadn't been, and you've been leaving it up to me a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, but if you've got something that you want to do differently, this is literally specifically for that.
Oh.
Anyway, so...
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then what I had actually had envisioned, I'm sorry, is him and his wife were fighting, and his daughter, whose name escapes me right now, was, cowering in the corner.
Good podcasting. Forgetting the name.
It's Kara. I
So
didn't actually forget it, I just said I did.
Why?
I don't know!
Why?
Because I'm a dumbass!
Why did you say that?
I don't know. And his wife's name is Alma.
As you peek through the door into this enormous throne room, you see King Everwood and his wife, presumably his wife. They're arguing about something. There's such incredible, echo sound in this room. All you can really hear is the clash of their voices, and you've been able to... You'd heard it for a while before you were able to sort of step into the room, but now you see, where these voices are coming from, and it's them, and they're angry at each other about something. Probably something to do with the revolution. That's a hot button topic. It's happening. And sort of curled up in the corner, far side of the room, is a small child, a little girl, presumably their daughter. I keep saying presumably.
It's their daughter.
Who is, presumably very scared that they're fighting.
She's terrified.
Yeah. Yes. Good job. You got it.
A+ podcasting.
You figured it out.
I did.
You figured out the thing that you made up.
I did. Yay me.
Okay, now this is the part where you take an action or do something or say something, or you've peeked around the corner.
He didn't slap her, because when he slapped her is
okay.
when I go in and I'm like,
and
nope,
as you see this argument is happening, he raises his hand and he slaps her across the head, and she sort of falters, not falling, but doing something very close to that.
Mm-hmm. I had a thing planned. I swear I did.
Well,
At this point, I rush into the room, even though I'm supposedly already in there. I don't know what's happening.
Well, you just peeked into it.
Oh, I did? Okay. I rush into the room and say, "My name is Sora Mystigan. You killed my master. Prepare to die. Welcome to Carrie Steals Things from Other Things, Part 3.
Great. That's... Alright. Yes, it's weird because King Everwood has, he has 4 fingers on one of his hands. It's he doesn't have an extra one. He's just missing one. He's like a bad cartoon where they draw him with only 4 fingers. This is completely irrelevant. That's sort of a little gripe I have with Gravity Falls. They made this big deal about one of the main characters having 6 fingers on his hands instead of 5, but they totally drew all the kids with just 4 fingers, and it was weird that they never brought attention to that. It's like you draw a show where like the art style is all the characters have really big heads for some reason, and one of them has like a slightly bigger head, and then one of the guys is like, your head's big. Like, so are all yours. Anyway. I assume you say something about Louis?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna say, though. I'm a dumbass and didn't plan for this. Even though I did a lot of planning for this.
Maybe this one's for Louis and you stab him?
Yeah.
Say that.
Oh, yeah, I'm a dumbass. This one's for Louis. I can't act. I'm sorry. Today my acting ability is just not there.
And then I stab him.
Then I stab him.
All right. Bin, 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 bin. There's our... We're so bad at this. You sure do. I guess you, like, run across the room to him?
Yeah.
Big room.
Takes me, like, 30 seconds.
He just slaps her as they're having this big fight. He's like...
I'm Naruto running.
God, this is the climax of Sora's arc. This is the dramatic like thing.
Hold on. I'm doing the math on how many feet that would be. Okay, so that's 150 feet.
How many feet do you move a second?
30. No, I have a speed of 30 and...
So you move 30 feet a second and it takes you 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought that speed meant every 5 seconds.
It does? Does it?
Because 6 seconds is an action, right?
Okay, listen. You know more about D&D than me.
You've been playing D&D longer than me.
Have I?
Yes. I didn't start playing till last year.
Me neither.
Oh.
Wait, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, till last year.
Oh. Well, I don't know. So it's either 150 feet or 900 feet.
Or 900 feet. A 900-foot throne room or 100... It doesn't take you 30 seconds. How about that? How about it doesn't take you 30 seconds?
But that'd be funny. And, right,
it's not funny!
I'm sorry.
The climax of your arc where you... Okay.
Okay, I realized I'm a dumbass. I'm sorry.
So here's the next part of why this can't be funny. As he collapses, you see in his face your own facial features, and you're like, hey, that might be something. I don't know how to make that dramatic, but you totally do. He collapses to the ground, and you sort of like, you look at him. Oh right, I know how I did this. You are back when you were in the shitty orphanage. Your bullies, they were bullies, and they bullied you. And one of the things that they bullied you for was looking like a dragonborn. And
because people are racist.
Because people are racist. Also sort of a neat way to tie in the fact that that's why the dad disowned you.
Yep.
Everyone fucked a dragon. Nobody's perfect. You looked into the mirror a lot in some of your teenage years. Yeah. Would teenaging still apply to a dragonborn? Since, like, for most of your teenage years, you're an adult.
Yeah.
At 15 you become mature, and maybe maturing aged but not yet necessarily teenaged through maturing age and teenaged. You looked in the mirror a lot, and although you're a dragonborn, like you look like you know how your face looks. That's how people are. And even though he is entirely 100% human, you see some of your own facial features in the way that this man's expression is as he collapses to the ground dead. And Oma and Kara, and his unnamed wife and unnamed child are, they're looking at you, probably, like, astounded.
Oh my god, what did I just do?
And in front of you there is a snowflake. And then there's another one. and there's a lot of them, and suddenly it's snowing, and you sort of like, I would assume you'd look up.
It's weird since it's snowing indoors.
Yeah, it's snowing indoors. You would look up, and there is no ceiling now. It's just gray. It's a gray sky, and you look back down, and Everwood's body isn't there anymore. And it's just, you're somewhere else where it's snowing, and everything around, there's somebody near you. You can't figure out who it is, and then you become aware there's another person. You can't figure out who that is either, and you hear something behind you, and you turn around, and there's this like enormous gaping open mouth like coming for you, and there's a roar, and you fall to the ground, and like you stand, you sort of almost like you bounce back up and then back down and then back up, and you're not here anymore. You're now being shaken. You're being shaken back and forth, and you see as you sort of open your eyes out of this flashback, and looking you in the face, here's what I'm doing to be creative, is the new King Oris, who has grasped you by your shoulders as you fall into the ground and is trying to make sure you're all right. Mm-hmm. Do you maybe do a little scream? Like Oh, thank God.
Inhale.
You're all right.
Who are you?
It's me. I'm the king. I'm you dude.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. You put me in charge of the kingdom, like
Right.
back in
Sorry.
like 3 years ago.
My bad.
Anyway, I found you. You were here.
Yeah, I'm kind of at my mom's house.
Yeah, that's
right
where
now.
That's where I figured you would probably be.
Does my mom know you're here?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's standing behind him with what was previously very very shocked and horrified expression, turning now to relief that she knows you're okay. And he says, "Yeah, you're. I just came because your friend's here." And he turns, and standing in the living room next to Karma are Aife and Thain.
Hi.
Hello.
They talked. I found them, and they talked to me. Once I found out who they were, I was shocked at the coincidence. But you guys are going on a mission. You guys are going to this wizard tower.
Yeah.
If you're all right, we're gonna sit you down, maybe get you to have some tea. But
Yes, I love tea.
once we do that, I've provided you with everything that you're going to need.
Oh, thanks.
As you go along this, it's a long path from here to Sellebeck. I don't know if, you'd be able to handle it on your own, or at least without spending a lot of money that... anyway, that's beside the point here. And we now go into montage mode as, as Olma, brews up a nice cup of tea, not just for you, but for everybody in the house. And there's just like... Hold on, there's just... What?
Can I just say that Aife is helping her make the tea?
Aife helps make the tea, and there's this great and long discussion about just everything. Everybody's been through a whole lot in the past. Like, how long has it been since you visited?
Like, about 3 or 4 months.
In the past 3 months, there's been a lot that's happened. There's been new people met, new adventures had, an entire new kingdom is going on over in Relatoid. That's a big thing. And this just happens